Hello and welcome along to Match Day Live. We are back here again at King Power Stadium facing local rivals Coventry City. The last time these two sides met here, of course, this goal saw an awful lot of late drama.
Kramer thought about the shorter option, but went straight in, and a header from the captain, Martyn. Pratt's ball towards Dewsbury Hall. Leicester equalise. It's a local lad. It's Keenan Dewsbury Hall. Martyn on the left side of the penalty. Then it's Dewsbury Hall who fires in a second for him.
Well, here we go again. Then 2 years later, Leicester City face Coventry City again here at King Power Stadium. If the result is the same as it was a couple of years ago, there'll be many smiling Leicester City faces, won't there, at full time. Kickoff is just under half an hour away. Welcome along to Match Day Live with me, Dan Bates. Robert Huth and Martyn Waghorn are our two guests this afternoon for this big game feel about it, actually. Today, isn't it? It's great to have you both along. It's your first time with us here in the studio, Waggy. Great to have you along. Robert, you've obviously been here once before for an away game. Bit busier today with our home game.
Bit busier, yeah, and hopefully we win this time as well. So it was a start off well my last time.
No, yeah, we're lucky we've had you back again then after a losing debut. Hopefully it won't be the case today, Waggy. And as I said, big game feel. The supporters they'll be desperate for a win today. It's one of those games that you look at the start of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, a bit of a local derby as well. I just think where Coventry are playing the way the lads have been the last few weeks as well, it's set out to be a really good game. Obviously, there's a lot of history going on between the two. And like I was here a few weeks ago for the Birmingham game, and it has got that edge to it. Like, it's very early in the season, but you can really set a marker down and how you're going to go about it. So, yeah, it's going to be set out to be quite a good one.
When you played in big games, and you obviously played in an awful lot of big games for Leicester, is there a different feel? I think amongst supporters there is, amongst us here, you can get up for a little bit more. Even that Birmingham game was the same, wasn't it? As a player, is it the same, or do you always think every game's another game?
Yeah, majority of the time I would agree it's pretty much just a game, but with it being a derby, I think, all the interviews, all the people you speak to on the street, I think it's like, they just give you that little bit more. Fire in your belly, I'd say. And like you said, the Birmingham game, even the supporters were, I was here as well, and you could sense it was just a little bit more atmosphere. That was a night game, but I think there'll be a bit more spice in the game, or hopeful anyway.
Yeah, do you think so? Bit of spice today?
Yeah, hopefully. That's what everyone wants from a derby. A few early tackles going flying in. Obviously, the game's changed a little bit, so you can't probably do it as much. But yeah, you just want that bit of energy. Set the game on the right foot and just bring a bit of energy, get the crowd in early doors, and really make the most of being at home.
You've scored in a Leicester Coventry game as well.
I have, yeah. One of my first probably 4 or 5 games for Leicester away. I think it was a big Stevie Howard flick on, if I can remember, and it was a good finish.
Nice. You can still see that smile on your face. Right, let's get all of today's team news before we go any further, of course. And following that draw at Oxford a week ago, Martyn Cifuentes has decided to make 4 changes. So out go Hamza Chowdhury, Caleb Okoli, Oliver Skipp and Aaron Ramsey. Of course, Ramsey being enforced, seeing that red card on his debut. In come Ricardo, Fass, Harry Winks and Jordan James for his first start in Leicester City colours. So it's Jakub Stolarczyk in goal, Ricardo, Fass, Vestergaard and Thomas across the back 4. Samare and Winks in midfield. Fatawu, James and Mavididi will be supporting Jordan Ayew. On the bench it's Begovic, Okoli, Decordova-Reid, Christensen, Chowdhury, Carranza, Daka, Skipp and of course Jeremy Monga as well. Robert, 4 changes, it's quite a lot, isn't it? They'll have been pleased with that 2-2 draw, having been down to 10 men, but he's decided to ring the changes, if you like, today. Obviously, one of them being enforced. What do you make of the 11?
Yeah, it's a strong 11 for sure. I like Rick being back in the team. I think he's a top footballer. Obviously scored against Birmingham as well, so it's good to have him in. Captain, obviously, so listen, it's up to the manager to make a few changes, whatever he sees fit, to get the winner over the line. Like I said, if James, I've not seen too much of him play, so that'd be interesting to see how he does today. I was looking for Monga playing again live because I really enjoy playing him, but hopefully he can come on in the middle of the game or later on and make a difference. But yeah, it's a positive team. And keep the run going.
Yeah, Waggy?
Yeah, really pleased. Obviously, I think from the result from last week, I think the manager's probably just thought maybe freshen things up. I just think it shows the strength that the squad's got at the minute. Obviously, there's a lot of questions towards the end of the window about where the team was going to be, and I think it's very settled. It's good. You can bring these changes in and keep the quality, and then again add quality as well. So yeah, I think it's very pleasing. I think the fans will be happy with it, and hopefully they can do the job.
Yeah, I think the fans will be very pleased, and they were very pleased with the business that was done on deadline day. Obviously, Carranza coming in, we yet to see him in action. Aaron Ramsey, ashamed to see what happened to him on debut. I guess that's just a case of a player being maybe overly zealous or wanting to impress too much on his debut. I don't know. It was unfortunate, and then James today, we'll see him in action. But I think there's been since deadline day a lot more optimism, a lot more good feeling around the group. Is that fair to say?
And amongst the supporters, yeah. I think when you read the forums or the papers, I think they weren't too happy with the start of the window, but got some good business done with the good players that we already have in the squad. So a couple of good additions. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long season, so you're going to need every player that's available.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously there's a lot of uncertainty at times about who was going to go, who was coming in. A lot of stuff off the field that the fans really didn't want after the season last year. They just want a bit of calm, a bit of settled, and I think the manager has brought that. What he's done the first 3 or 4 games. So yeah, it's a bit of a settled period now. Just try and build momentum now. This league's all about kind of consistency and just grinding up results. I think that showed with the previous game, and hopefully they can build on that today with the positive result.
One phase was going to go, wouldn't he, towards the end of the window? But I think the way he's come in against Birmingham, obviously today, sometimes you can see when a move doesn't happen, players let their head go down and sort of not be as good. But he stepped in the last couple of games, and hopefully has another good game today. Yeah,
and every time we've seen Harry Winks from the bench as well, he's looked very assured. We know how good Harry Winks is, and we saw him a couple of seasons ago in this division was excellent. You know what you're going to get from Harry Winks in midfield, don't you?
Yeah, it's great. But he's always available for the ball, which as a centre or as a former centre back, that's what you want. You want that sort of the obvious pass, which always gives you. And he's stepped up, scored a couple of goals, and he's just exceptional on the ball. He sees the play, he slows it down, he speeds it up, and that's exactly what we need today.
Yeah. If you're watching us on YouTube, as ever, please do get involved with us in the comments. If you've got any questions for Robert or for Waggy, please do put them in the comments section. Average Leicester fan is their handle on YouTube, has said it's nice to see Jordan James starting in that 10 role. And I guess there's a few question marks as to what his best position is. He says himself he loves to be box to box. I think with that Aaron Ramsey red card last week, that meant that probably he now has to fill in that role in the number 10. But we saw for Birmingham 2 goals against Leicester a couple of seasons ago. He went away to Rennes, didn't have maybe the best of times there. He's clearly a very good player and he's thought very highly of.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for him. Obviously, football's all about moments, taking opportunities, and he's been gifted one essentially. So I'd like to say what Robert said. I've not seen much of him, but I've seen glimpses of him, and he's got obvious quality. He's very aware of his position for a young age. He can get in the box. He can arrive late. He's a bit like Harry. He'll take the ball in tight areas, which I think is a 10 you need to do. So it's exciting. Obviously, it's a big opportunity for him. So hopefully, he can just take the game as it is and just play the way he wants to play.
And he can make the position his. If he has a good game today, there's no real outstanding candidate to play in that position. I think if he plays today, he's got another 2 games to showcase his ability. So it's there for him to take. And like we said, we all been young, trying to wait for a chance. And today is exactly what that.
Yeah, we're seeing him warming up now. Sorry, Waggy. Just saying, what's he thinking now, Waggy?
Well, I was just about to add on that. I think what's really good about the situation that he's in is he's got a wealth of experience around him everywhere across the park. The boys up top, the boys in midfield, Harry. So he's going to have players around him that can help manage his emotions, get through, talk to him, bit of advice, first 10, 15 minutes, just play you into the game, whatever it may be. You've got Kingy as a coach there, giving him a bit of guidance. So he's got the wealth of experience around him to help him just manage his emotions, whatever. So yeah, he'll be nervous, he'll be excited, he'll want to do well, but he's in the right place to go and do it.
Just don't get sent off.
That's a fair thing to say, I think. I think he'll be he will be so frustrated, won't he, Aaron Ramsey, a week ago against Oxford, seeing that red card on your debut. I guess you just want to impress, don't you? And that's what he was trying to do. And we know how good of a player he is and he will be for Leicester this season. It's a shame to see that. Hopefully we don't see the same, obviously, with JJ today.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the challenge. I mean, we all been in that challenge where you see the ball and you're just that little bit late and it looks terrible in slow motion. And it was a forceful tackle. I'm not making an excuse for him, but we all been there. We all got it slightly late. I'm not saying he was nervous or trying to sort of impress. I think it was just a case of he saw the ball, he went fully committed, and he just got a little bit wrong. And unfortunately, these days, that's a straight red card. 10, 15 years ago, that would have got away with a yellow.
Yeah, I think
the hard telling off.
A few years ago, you might have maybe just got understand the situation, yellow, maybe a bit of a talking to, but now it's just unfortunate you can't go in like that now, can you?
You were speaking about the experience in the team. One of those positions, particularly now, is at right back. Whether that's Hamza Chowdhury, we see him drop to the bench today. Ricardo comes in, the new captain of Leicester City. How integral will he be this season, do you think?
Yeah, huge. Obviously, you can see in his impact from coming back already, 2 goals. Just his quality, his calmness on the ball, his positioning, his communication. I just seen it in glimpses of when he came on against Birmingham, again against Oxford. He just brings an aura and a presence to the team where when you're being in a team and a big personality goes from it and then they come back in, it's just a bit of a release now for the rest of the lads. And I think he's brought that back into the team. And yeah, he's a great addition. I think Hamza's done great filling in for him there. But obviously he's a right back, he's captain of the club, and he brings that quality to the team.
Yeah, like I said, Hamza done well, filling in for him. But what Hamza doesn't do is, attack as well as Rick does. When he came on against Birmingham, I think he changed the game. I think his composure on the ball was excellent. His pass, his movement was great. When I see him, he looks like he's organising the players around him, and he steps in with a couple of goals. So he's as good as Hamza defensively, but he just brings a little bit more attack.
Well, speaking of the man himself, let's hear from him then. Off the back of being named the full-time captain of Leicester City, we caught up with the Portuguese full-back and took his dog Duke for a walk.
I can see you're beaming with a smile there. How proud were you? How did you feel when you heard him? Was it Marty that contacted you about that?
Yes. It was him who called me before he announced to the team. He said his reasons, because I was one of the guys that was here for a long time. My being, in a sense, a role model for the young guys. And asking if I want to. And I said, let me think a little bit. No, I'm joking. I said straight away yes, and of course feeling proud. And maybe if you ask me in the beginning of my career if I could be like a captain, I would say maybe yes, maybe no, but things change, and here I am. Being captain, it helps because when you're a kid, I want to armband the number 10 shirt or something. So I don't have number 10 shirt, but it's okay, the 21.
You're still the goal scorer there.
Exactly, that's the most important.
That's a very smiley Ricardo there speaking, having been named captain. I promised there was his French bulldog dog Duke on that walk as well. You can watch the full video of that. It is available for you on YouTube and on Fox's Hub as well. A fascinating 15-minute journey with him. We went from Seagrave, he got a coffee in Leicester, then back home, picked his dog up, went on the walk, and he just talked all things Leicester and the pride that he has in playing for this club. And he's a very popular player, isn't he, amongst staff, amongst supporters, amongst, I'm sure, ex-players as well as the players themselves.
Yeah, you can see his energy. He's got a nice aura about him, and I think that attracts people. It gives you a connection with the fans straight away. So he's been through a lot with the club, let's be honest, hasn't he? He's been there through the good times, through the tough times. So he's stuck by the team, and yeah, he was a big loss through his injury and stuff. So to have him back, and it's obviously a great honour for him to be appointed captain of the club.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, it's not that you like him, but I think it's what you do on the pitch. He's a top player. We've seen when he's not on the pitch how much the team struggles. I'm sure he's a lovely lad. You just confirmed it, but even better that he's a great footballer for the team.
Yeah, and we saw that goal, the goal against Birmingham. important goal, wasn't it, that took the game away from Birmingham and sealed the 3 points. And then a week ago, Waggy against Oxford as well, he'd not long been on the pitch. Yeah. And for a right-back, he shows so much composure, doesn't he? I
was going to say, you can see by his 2 finishes, even his one against Birmingham, difficult chance, took it very well. But that was this goal, as we're seeing. Yeah, typical Ricky, just in the right area. He's not frightened to get forward. He knows what's behind him. He reads the game ever so well. And you can see he's got that way of finishing, which he's done for the last 3 or 4 years. He's very composed, and to be honest, it's a great finish. Hard
Strikes
no
the ball
across the
so
keeper.
clean, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like every time he hits the ball, it's
got
clean
lovely technique. Yeah. So great finish.
Good team goal as well. That.
I think the state of the goal as well, the situation that we're in, the way we played as well, being down to 10 men, we didn't just sit back. They didn't allow Oxford to come onto. We kept going forward and kept building and tried to play in the right way. And yeah, it was a very well worked team goal.
In a game like that where you've been behind, yeah, this is a bit of a longer clip where you can see a lot more of the build-up, and we've seen snippets of this season where Leicester have been able to get on the ball and do things like this. Look, even how high Yannick Vestergaard is there. It's just a really good team goal, that one.
It is, and you take into consideration the new manager, the latest of the new players coming in. I'm not surprised that we only see this kind of play sporadically at the moment. I expect that to get better and better with each game, or each week they train together. And like you said, to be a man down and still have that kind of possession and dominate, and maybe not being unlucky not to win the game, but had the game gone on another 10 minutes, I think we had a fair chance of getting away with the 3 points.
Is it one of those that you look at everything that's happened, you've been behind twice, you've been down to 10 men for most of the game, is it one of those where you think, actually, yeah, let's come away from home and let's get a point? That's a good point.
Any point away from home is good, but I would guess if I was in the changing room, that felt like a win.
Okay.
Away from home, you didn't lead once in the game, and then you come back after sending off, you get a point. I think that we sit in the changing room feeling like a win.
Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes you got to flip the perspective on the result and the situation and what Huth said. I think at the end of the day, it could be a big point going forward. Oxford are no slouches at home. They've had some big results there. So to play the way they did under the circumstances, very, like I say, a lot of positives to take from it and moving forward, yeah. I agree.
Well, that game, as with today's game, as ever, as with every game this season, it is available for you on Fox's Hub in one guise or another. There are international seasonal passes now available for you. That they are your game passes throughout the whole season. So basically, you'll be able to watch pretty much every game with us in international audiences. You can follow us every single game. You can follow us today, of course, on Fox's Hub as you're doing now, and you can listen to all of the action. There are Listen Live seasonal passes which are on sale for you now. Jerry Taggart is our co-commentator for today's game with Coventry. Commentary against Coventry. We'll be handing over in around about 5 minutes' time. So let's talk about the opposition today. Let's talk about this game and the fact that it's a derby. We've touched upon it already. We know the supporters are going to be well up for this on both sides of whether you're Sky Blue or Royal Blue, of course. And these are the games you want to be involved in, I guess, as a player. Yeah,
of course, the massive, and I've played for Coventry City quite recently as well with all the transitioning going on at the club, and in fairness to them, the away support is top tier. They'll be there for them to the end. So it's going to be a really difficult game. If we allow Coventry to get a foothold in the game, the crowd will be right behind them. So it's about quieting the fans, having these moments where it's going to be tough. They're a good side. They've got a lot of good players, and they're picking up momentum now. And the way Frank's done it over the last year or so, he's really brought a cutting edge to the team, which I felt wasn't probably there for the previous 2 or 3 years. So got a lot of quality, got a lot of strength on the bench. So it's going to be a difficult game.
Yeah, and just to think it from Leicester's point of view, I think the first 10 minutes, if you squeeze them in their half, our supporters will be right on it. Yeah. That's for sure. That will be my team talk. If the worst thing you can do is kick off and give the ball back to your keeper, it just kills the atmosphere. We've seen teams now where they just kick it towards the corner flag and squeeze them in. I don't personally think it's the worst idea if you've got your press on right. And if you support her and you see that you kind of, it's on, you're squeezing them in. And the first 10 minutes, I was told, let the other team make a mistake. Yeah. If they make a mistake in their half, you haven't got long to their goal. That would be what I'd be thinking. Whether they can capitalise on that, it's a different matter. Because, like you said, Coventry, I know, no Max, they improved massively under Frank.
And particularly going forward, they've got some players that can certainly hurt Leicester. So, is that another reason maybe why we've seen Fast come in? We've seen Ricardo come into that back line. Is it as much as we know how good they are, but also Coventry are very good going forward? Top scorers in the league at the minute.
Yeah, but you're bringing in players with a wealth of experience. So you're not really kind of accommodating Coventry City. I think you're just adding to your team, your lineup. So yeah, you can look at it both ways, but the players that were brought in would just consolidating, but allowing the team to do what we need to do going forward. So yeah, they're a good side going forward, but if we can just control the possession, do what we need to do, like what Huth said, play in their half, and then not allow them to build going forwards.
Yeah, and you can't change too much on the opposition. I think you have to respect the opposition. Obviously, you watch numerous videos and clips. You know, there's every stat available to any team. So, yes, of course, be aware of the threat. Have a chat with the team about what they potentially to do on the break. But ultimately, we're at home. You know, put the press on them and get the win. Yeah.
Do you think because of the fact that in 5 games they've scored 15 goals in the league, that Leicester, if they're to win today, they're probably going to have to score 2, maybe 3 goals? But then on the flip side of that, they might back themselves that last home game against Birmingham side that everyone was worried about, they kept a really good clean sheet. I think Jakob made 1 save.
Yeah, you've got to back yourself, and I think the manager's done that with the team selection. I think if you wanted to go to the defensive, you maybe take JJ out and put maybe another midfielder in there to consolidate. But I think he's going to go after it, and it kind of sets a standard for where he wants his team to go. So yeah, I think you back yourself defensively, and we're strong enough to do that.
Yeah, and you have to be flexible. You know, you never know what happens to you in a game. It's all well and good having a game plan, but normally in the first couple of minutes it goes out the window, and you have to adapt. And I think it's all well and good us talking about here what potentially might go on, but I think on the pitch the players have to smell the game and sort of adapt to it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the bottom of the screen there, particularly the front 4, if you like, even adding Harry Winks, Samara, you know how good he is. He can be on the ball moving forward. Speaking of Coventry going forward, Leicester so good going forward. They've got some exciting players. It should be. I'm excited for today's game. I think we're going to be entertained.
Yeah, I think that's the way the game's been built over the last few weeks. Like you said, getting the window out the way. We need to touch on how good Leicester are going forwards. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of experience, game changers on the bench as well. So, like you say, if we can hang in around it, maybe be in front, the boys that we've got coming off the bench is just going to add extra quality and a real threat to Coventry City.
Yeah, I mean, Fataro and Mabididi probably one of the best sort of wingers in the league, aren't they? Arguably.
With Monga to come off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice position to be in. You know, puts the pressure on the players to perform as well, which I always enjoy because then you can't take your foot off the pedal. So, like I said, 2 of the top wingers in the league, and hopefully they can isolate the fullbacks and go on in 1-on-1, because if they can do that, we're going to get a few chances.
Hopefully so. Big thank you to Robert Huth, to Martyn Waghorn. We'll hear from those guys again at half-time and then again at full-time, where hopefully we'll be speaking about another victory in the M69 derby. Coming up, we've got full commentary and the full game, depending where you are, with our commentators Charlie McGuinness and Jerry Taggart. Here's a little explainer of what is available to you today.
If you are watching on lcfc.com, just sit back and relax. If you are watching on social media, the live stream will finish shortly. If you want to continue enjoying our coverage, you'll need to head over to lcfc.com/Foxes Hub and purchase one of our game passes. If you are watching in a territory where the game isn't live on TV, you'll be able to watch a live video stream on Foxes Hub. Please visit lcfc.com/territories to check. If you can't find your location, live audio commentary is still available. You'll need to have an lcfc.com account before you purchase your Game Pass. If you already have one, please sign in and select your product at lcfc.com/Foxes Hub. Select the Buy button and you'll be taken to the payment page. Once you've followed the simple payment steps, press Continue at the bottom of the screen and you'll be taken to the Foxes Hub homepage. If you purchased a video pass, please select Watch Live from the Foxes Hub drop-down menu. If you purchased a Listen Live pass, please select Listen Live. If you purchased a seasonal or monthly video pass and the game is not being shown in your territory, please select Listen Live. If you are having a payment or technical issue, please email Leicester TV Support at streamamg.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the match.